so that the decisions can be made when they need to be made. You know, the really fabulous news is that my mother was able to make her own decisions up until the end of her life, but it might not have been that way. So we have to think about a living will, which is one of the most personal documents you can ever do, because it is exactly what you want for yourself. Now, if you want healthcare providers to take every single step possible to preserve your life, you do not need a living will. But if you don't, you need a living will. If without it, you will be placed on a ventilator. You probably will be fed through a tube if you can't eat. They will insert IVs. They'll give you medications. They'll put you on chemotherapy, do surgery, perform other procedures, even if there is no hope that you will truly recover. Now, it is true that your healthcare surrogate could refuse heroic measures, even without a living will. However, family members and healthcare providers are more likely to challenge your surrogate's decision if there is no living will. A living will truly is a gift that you give to others. It's a gift to people so that they will know what it is that you want, so that if it becomes necessary to use the living will, people can be present with you. They can be with you and not be distracted and torn apart by the difficult decisions of what to do. You will have already told them what to do. And they can celebrate you and each other rather than be lost in making those tough decisions. Okay. So with a living will, you can provide that you receive comfort measures and palliative care, including pain medications, even if there's a risk that the pain medications may shorten your life. A living will is a good way to tell your healthcare providers, I don't want to be in pain no matter what it is, so that they don't get goofy about making sure that you're not in pain. With a living will, you can decline tube feeding, and you can even decline intravenous fluids if there is no hope for your recovery. And certainly when you decline tube feeding and you decline IVs, this will shorten your life otherwise, as we all know from the Terri Schiavo case. So, remember what I said at the beginning? The chances of doing everything yourself for your entire life without help are not good. A complete life plan includes a healthcare surrogate designation. It includes HIPAA authorizations. It includes thoughtfully titled assets. It includes a power of attorney, probably a living trust, a living will, and a will. And if you have those documents, terrific. And you want to ask yourself, are they accurate and up to date? And if you don't have any of those documents, you might want to think about whether one or more of them is appropriate for you. I have included in your packet a little booklet that I wrote, which I entitled the Senior Planning Guide. And it has some questions that you can ask yourself as well. And it has a description of these various types of documents and generally what they do and how they're helpful. So you might want to take a look at that and go over your own documents and think about what it is that you have, whether it really provides for what you want for yourself, and whether you want to make changes or you want to do something differently. Okay? Lovely. Questions?
Now, all of these things are really wonderful, and they are effective in Florida. Several people I know say, oh, I want to be near my children when I'm going to die. I'm going to go to Michigan or Ohio. How about state laws changing and different?
Virtually every state, in fact, every state that I know about, provides that if you do a document and it is effective in the state where you did it, it will be effective in that other state. The other thing that I do, and many lawyers do, for example, I execute every document with the formality of a will. And what that means is I have 2 witnesses who are not related to you, and one of them is not me, and they're notarized. So that is the maximum formality that's required. And I do all the documents that way, including the power of attorney, including the healthcare surrogate, etc., so that wherever you go, it will meet the most stringent of criteria.
Thank you.
Are there other questions?
Yes, where do you get your HIPAA authorization? Do you go to your doctor's office in case you have something already signed and you want to change it? Is that where you have to go to get it?
You can get it from your doctor's office, or if I have a certain form, if you call me up, I'll mail you some blank ones, or you can get them on the internet, you can email me, I'll send you one. Sandra probably has some blank ones she can give you. The thing to know about HIPAA authorizations is that some healthcare providers are funny about how recent they are. So if you're going to date them and give them to somebody, or if you're going to sign them and give them to somebody, don't date them. Let somebody else date them when they're going to use them. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of healthcare providers want them signed within 30 days, certainly most of them within 6 months. You don't want to give somebody a HIPAA authorization that they're going to use 3 years later, because the hospital or the doctor or the physical therapist probably won't honor it. Okay, yes?
If you have a healthcare surrogate designation, is it advisable to have a document that says, this is what I want? I mean, they can make decisions for you, but maybe they make the decisions you don't want.
Exactly.
If you're not awake and able.
When I do a healthcare surrogate designation, I almost always do a combination of a living will, healthcare surrogate designation, and HIPAA authorization in the same document, so that your desires are right there, that the authority to get into your records and your bills is right there, and the authority of the person to do that are right there. It's a little longer, but I happen to like it that way.
For the healthcare surrogate, is it advisable to have somebody that is right here, living where you are, rather than someone that is in another state?
You can do both.
I'm just thinking in the case of an emergency, you don't want someone out of state.
I wouldn't. I mean, my family is out of state. My father lives in Texas. One of my brothers lives in Texas. My other brother is in St. John, Virgin Islands, and he's about to head for the Pacific after hurricane season. Now, he used to be my healthcare surrogate. Bad idea. Now, I don't know. My doctor probably would like to fly to the Virgin Islands to ask my brother what to do, but that's not practical, right? So I have a friend who is my healthcare surrogate, and I am healthcare surrogate for a number of friends. And that is exactly what we do, because we're close by.